Call the meeting to order at
Recording in
6:10
progress.
p.m. Please join me in the flag salute. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, Trustee Hart, can you read the land acknowledgement?
Sure. The Pacifica School District acknowledges that we gather on the unceded ancestral homelands of the Ramaytush Ohlone people. As guests, we humbly extend our gratitude to the Ramaytush Ohlone elders and community. We recognize that we benefit from living and working on their traditional homeland, and we affirm their sovereign rights as First Peoples. As the original stewards of this land, the Ramaytush Ohlone understand the interconnectedness of all things and importance of maintaining harmony with nature. Likewise, Pacifica School District commits to teaching our school community how to be responsible stewards of this land.
Okay, Barbara, can you take the roll?
Yes, trustee Berdal.
Here.
Trustee Perkini.
Here.
Trustee Doggett.
Here.
Trustee Hart.
Here.
Trustee Villalobos is absent.
Okay, the district records the audio portion of the meetings. All recordings are kept in the superintendent's office for 30 days and are available during that time period for inspection by members of the public on district equipment without charge. All public comment must be made in person unless a board member will attend remotely or is otherwise specified on the board agenda. Speakers wishing to address the board on agenda or non-agenda items, please complete a request card with your name, address, and the item number and submit it to the board president or superintendent. You will be called to address the board and may speak for up to 3 minutes. Please note, the public is welcome to provide comment to the board. Remarks are limited to 3 minutes unless extended or limited by a vote of the board. A maximum of 20 minutes, unless extended by the board, is allocated for each subject discussed. The Brown Act open meeting regulations under which the board must operate do not allow board members to comment on non-agenda items or information that you may bring up that are not on the agenda. Additionally, no action can be taken. However, the board may give direction to staff following a comment. Okay, approval of the agenda. I'm going to request the removal of item 12D from the agenda. Do I have a motion to approve the agenda with the removal of item 12D? Do I have a second?
All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, item 7, report on closed session topics. The only action taken was on items F and items G, and there was a 4-0 vote to accept the agreements. Okay. Approval of the consent agenda. Oh, which one? Oh, okay. So, okay. So item F, okay. So item F was 4-0 to accept, and item G was 4-0 to deny. Okay, approval of the consent agenda. All items on the consent agenda will be approved with one motion, which is not debatable and which requires a unanimous vote for passage. If any member of the board, the superintendent, or the public so requests, any items shall be removed from this section and placed on the regular order of business following approval of the consent agenda. Are there any questions? Okay, and do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda? Do I have a second?
All in favor, please raise your hands. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay. Superintendent and board special recognitions. Dr. Govan.
Thank you, Board of Trustees. I am recognizing a group of phenomenal students that we have here. They participated in our theme, which was making waves of hope and having waves of potential, oceans of hope and waves of potential. And we had some artists submit documents, and we went K to 2, 3 to 5, and then our older children. And then we had another student submit an essay, and they are our winners for the theme. And I'd like to invite them up here, one, to accept this recognition and to just congratulate them for a job well done and being part of the processes of our theme this year. So first, I'd like to call Esther Maria Bond. Oh, sorry.
Did you want to just keep it? She can stay up there too and we can take a picture of everybody.
I'm sorry.
Wrong spot.
The next person we'd like to recognize is Lindia Jane Bond, and they are related.
Sorry. 1 second. All right, good. Mom.
And our next artist is Ella Long. Ella Eng, thank you.
It's like at the Walmart.
And our last award goes to our essay winner, Lillian Speidel.
Oh, Mom.
And I will also say that they're being recognized in our newsletter that is coming out. You'll get to see the actual art, and I highly recommend everyone read the essay. If it doesn't bring tears to your eyes, then I don't know what else to say, but all the work was beautiful in the essay as well. So congratulations to our winners.
Okay. Item 10, communications, LSEA.
Good evening. Tomorrow, LSEA is at the negotiating table with the district for our second session of the year. We started with Article 15, safety. This includes not only hazardous conditions and contagious diseases, but also safety as it relates to student behavior towards our members. As you know, certificated and classified staff are having to deal with many behavior issues, making it more and more difficult to teach all of our students and cover our curriculum effectively. While board members may be happy with low suspension rates, this is not a signal that all is good in our classrooms. We hope to come to some final agreements tomorrow at the table. The district has reported that they have been making efforts to fix our paychecks, and we are hoping their work behind the scenes ensures we are correctly paid at the end of this month. At the last board meeting, there were parents concerned about play structure safety and availability for the students. LSEA members have the same concerns. We have heard the district is getting the ball rolling on this, and we look forward to that communication. Thank you.
Okay, CSEA.
Good evening, everyone. CSEA met with the district team on October 15th at Ballamore School for negotiations. We're pleased to share that we added a new member to our team, Mary Pilster, a paraprofessional who brings valuable classroom experience and perspective to our discussions. During our session, we were finally able to discuss salary. CSCA Chapter 128 presented a multi-year salary proposal that we believe is both necessary and fair. Our proposal would bring Pacifica's wages closer to the median wage for classified employees in San Mateo County. And as you know, San Mateo County has one of the highest costs of living in California. We simply cannot attract or retain classified employees with the pay currently offered. Tiff and I took on this leadership roles because we wanted to protect our members' health insurance and raise salaries that in some cases were below minimum wage. We've seen applicants go through the hiring process, they apply, they interview, but once they see the actual pay, they decline the position. This is not sustainable for our schools or our students. We are confident, however, that we can work collaboratively with the district team to reach an agreement that provides our classified members with a well-deserved salary increase while also protecting the health insurance benefits that many depend upon. And now for the favorite part, which Tiff usually gets to do, but she's not here. We're splitting tonight, so I get to do the recognition. Our Above and Beyond award for this month goes to all our amazing paraprofessionals. Paraprofessionals truly keep our schools running. They serve students from preschool through 8th grade, doing everything from changing diapers to teaching children to read. They form some of the strongest, most lasting connections with students because they are there for them all day, every day, and often year to year. CSA Chapter 128 is proud of all our Above and Beyond recipients. Our classified employees are dedicated, hardworking, and deeply committed to our students, our schools, and our district and our community. CSA will continue to shine a spotlight on Pacifica School District's wonderful classified employees because we believe their hard work, dedication, and contributions deserve to be celebrated and rewarded. Union proud, union strong. Thank you.
Okay, people wishing to address the board. I have a Jackie DeBorgia.
Hello. I'm going to read this. So I'm a parent of a kindergartner at Sunset Ridge Ocean Shore. So I've heard you do not want a charter because you're afraid to lose students. Well, if it weren't for my kid's kinder teacher, Miss Lily, who is wonderful, I would have already pulled my kid from this district. As a parent, I don't mind whether my child attends a public, private, or charter school. What matters to me is that the school upholds 4 basic principles. 1, every child deserves a safe space to learn. Every child. 2, every child deserves a safe space to play. 3, teachers must receive real support to ensure number 1 and number 2. And 4, every child deserves enough time to eat their lunch. At Sunset Ridge Ocean Shore, these are simply not being met. Children are being physically hurt in classrooms and on playgrounds, and there aren't enough adults to help. My 5-year-old was punched in the face by another child and had to walk himself to the office to get his own ice pack. No child should have to do that. Teachers have asked for additional support for behavior management in classrooms, and they haven't received it. My son fell from the monkey bars and broke 2 arms due to the state of the playground, while there's a perfectly good and newer playground sitting empty on this campus. The school is not conducive for the amount of kids shoved in there. The cafeteria and lunch schedule can't keep up with the number of students. Kids don't have enough time to finish their lunches and are not even allowed to get up for napkins. These details matter. This is not a system that is supporting health, learning, or dignity for our children. The district has said it saved money through the Ocean Shore relocation. I urge you to reinvest those savings into staffing and supervision, measurable actions aligned with your duty of care under state education standards. If these 4 principles can be met, again, every child deserves a safe space to learn. Every child deserves a safe space to play. Teachers must receive real support to ensure number 1 and 2, and every child deserves enough time to eat their lunch. If these 4 principles can be met, I'll proudly keep my child in this district. We share the same goal, schools where every child is safe, supported, and able to thrive. Please make sure your policies reflect that, or I will have no choice but to leave this district, whether there is a charter school or not. Thank you.
Okay, Board Superintendent Correspondence and Communications.
I had my usual one-on-ones with Dr. Bowman. And I received some screenshots from a friend about some conversations going on Facebook that I wanted to address. This is my chance to address some of those things. So that's what I'm going to do. The volunteer policy has not been revised since the school board meeting on October 1st. The district is actively working on improving administrative process of tracking volunteers. I am the executive director of Pacifica School Volunteers. And I just want to clarify that PSV, Pacifica School Volunteers, is not part of the district policy. I recused myself from that vote out of an abundance of caution because as executive director of PSV, I work closely with volunteers, and this was a policy about volunteers. This recusal was my way of ensuring transparency and avoiding any perception of conflict of interest. To be clear, PSV is not mentioned in the district's volunteer policy. PSV does not benefit financially from volunteers being live scanned, and PSV does not receive funding based on the number of volunteers live scanned. Many schools rely on their PTOs to track volunteer paperwork. Because PTO leadership changes often, maintaining records year to year is naturally difficult. PSV has a system in place for tracking volunteers because it's what we do day to day. PSV might be able to help the district by keeping a list of volunteers' names and the dates they complete their volunteer requirements. This list would help schools confirm which volunteers have completed the requirements. It is normal for grants and funding to come up in conversations about Pacifica School volunteers' work. PSV is a small nonprofit in the education sector serving a district with financial hardships, and we rely on grants to operate. PSV engages in conversations with school principals on a regular basis about how we can support schools to make sure that the work we do aligns with the school's goals. PSV will continue to report volunteer metrics as we always have by counting the hours our volunteers work in classrooms where they are placed by PSV. If a volunteer signs up through PSV and we assign them to help in a classroom, those hours would be counted for our grant reports. If a parent wants to volunteer for something other than that, like a PTO event or go on a school field trip, they would not be considered Pacifica School volunteers, and their data would not be included in our grant reports. The purpose of helping with this administrative process would be to make it easier for schools to confirm eligibility. It's easy to get swept up in the noise, rumors, and the instinct to assign blame. My takeaway from these screenshots of conversations on Facebook is that our community clearly cares about our schools, our children, and the staff that show up for them every day. I believe the issue isn't who manages volunteer lists. The issue is that our schools are underfunded in one of the wealthiest counties in the nation. Our teachers and staff are working harder than ever for less than livable wages, and our children are learning in a system stretched too thin. This is where there should be outrage, not toward each other. Get involved to find solutions. I have done everything possible to act ethically and with integrity. I sought legal and ethical guidance and have recused myself when the appearance of conflict comes up. I serve on the school board for the same reason I applied for my job at Pacifica School Volunteers, for the same reason I volunteered with my PTO, and for the same reason I led 2 campaigns for our district. The reason is because public education is important globally. I want to see change and I want better for Pacifica. I want to help find solutions, so I am involved. For people that think that there's personal or financial gain in this, tells me they are out of touch. There is no financial gain. And personally, the only gain is the confidence that I'm doing what I can to help. For those getting swept up in the noise, rumors, and instinct to assign blame, I assume you care, and I encourage you to ask yourself, who are you trying to help? What problem are you trying to solve? Have you confirmed your actions are helpful? And then I urge you to ask the people that you're trying to help if what you're doing is helpful. Don't ask Facebook. That's a controlled narrative. Ask actual leaders of this community, your principals, teachers, secretaries, custodians, librarians, any other staff, PTO members, or other parents. Go to a drop-off at a school that your kid doesn't go to and ask around, is this what I'm doing helpful?
Thank you. All right. My comments, I have my one-on-one with Dr. Bowman. I also swung by Valimar to pick up my annual purchase of Pony Plop tickets. Unfortunately, they didn't call me over the weekend, so I don't think I won. I did want to give just a reminder. We passed a policy and let's see, it was 3/29/2023 regarding immigration response enforcement. Unfortunately, the current president has said that his plan is to be sending people to California. I just want to make sure that all the administrators are up on the policy, which basically I'll just highlight that the first things that should happen is we should notify the superintendent or designee. You should provide the students and families with appropriate notice and a description of the immigration officer's request. Document any request for information for immigration authorities, and provide students and parents with documents provided by immigration enforcement officer, unless such disclosure is prohibited by a subpoena served on the district or in a case involving investigation of child abuse, neglect, or dependency. So I am hopeful that our governor will do a good job in trying to protect the kids of our state, but we're really, as everyone can see, fighting a battle these days. But at the end of the day, it's about keeping the kids safe, and the school should be a safe place for them. And so I just want to make sure that everyone's doing their part in that. So that's it for me today.
I don't have anything to share today. Okay, I had my one-on-one meetings with Dr. Bowman and attended the Sunset Ridge PTO meeting and also attended the Cabrillo School Fall Festival on Sunday. And the weather ended up being perfect for them, and it was highly attended and more kids than I think I've ever seen there before. So that was really a successful day. And it looked like they were all definitely having fun. So I'm looking forward to the parades for Halloween too.
But following up regarding the immigration policy, I've been in contact with our legal counsel planning a professional development for our administrators as well as our front office staff. That it will be coming within the next 3 weeks, I believe. We also are doing a parent education night for families, and we are providing the red cards so that families know what their rights are through the process, and that will continue throughout the school year. I've also met with LSEA and CSEA, had the one-on-ones with the trustees. I've met with the area superintendents from this region. And I've also had the opportunity to meet with San Mateo County Office of Education regarding human resources and our business office and our payroll. And I've had several parent meetings.
Okay, item 11, information items. Item A, Pacifica Education Foundation presentation, Amy Skeeter.
Slides, yeah, Joey. I was gonna put it.
In the interest of time, I'll go ahead and kick things off because I have them in front of me as well. Thank you so much for having PEF here tonight on our annual visit to brief you all. As a reminder, we are an independent charitable organization founded in 2008. You can go to the first slide. We first began supporting the Pacifica School District's academic programs. Sorry, second slide. Oh, there's a clicker. Thank you. Amazing. Here's our agenda. It's what we're going to cover. Who's PEF? What do we do? How do we raise funds? And what are our funding priorities for this year? We're an independent charitable organization founded in 2008. We're focused on ensuring Pacifica's children receive a high quality education in music, arts, and sciences in particular. We're an all volunteer organization with an 8-person board plus school ambassadors and other volunteer friends. We keep it lean. 95% of revenue goes directly to our program costs. And just a key point for programs that we roll out and support, we look to make sure they're equitably accessible by all kids across the district in the various schools. Our goals: fill funding gaps, align with the PSD strategic plan, support the core curriculum, and again, promote equity across the schools. We raise on an annual basis about $170,000. Primarily that's through, I'll start on the right, memberships. If you aren't a PEF member, become a PEF member. It gives you access to discounts at dozens of local businesses here in Pacifica and the surrounding area. The second, we've also, I will call out, Davis would kill me if I didn't call out that we have rolled out digital membership cards with an auto renewal option. So easy breezy, just get in there and it'll just keep rolling. In terms of our main events, our spring gala is we like to call it the event of the season, annual fancy party. It's been the last few years at Skyline College at the Fairlawn Room. And it's coming up in May of 2026 this year. So mark your calendars. And then also coming up even more quickly is our annual donation days. It's November 12th through 14th. It's our 3-day fun and friendly school competition between schools to drive participation, drive support for PEF, funds raised, and so on. School that raises the most money gets a pizza party with most participation, gets other prizes. So keep an eye out for our marketing and signage for that. All right. So in terms of how we annually are allocating that $170,000 to support music, arts, and science programming in the district, you'll see it's between elementary music and middle school band. That's the lion's share. The elementary music program, we support, fund one of the music teachers as well as all of the supplies for that program. For the middle school band, it's instruments, instrument repairs, field trips, all the non-staff costs of that program. And then one really cool program that we've been funding for several years is our stage performance and rhythmic culture poetry class, which is a 35-week slam poetry residence for all of our 5th graders at all of our schools. And I have a few little bits of data as to how that impacts our 5th graders and prepares them to be very well-rounded students. And then finally, one thing that we rolled out this year in partnership with the district, in partnership with the principals at Cabrillo and IBL and the science teachers there, is a new STEM program for the 6th graders that was already active for our 7th and 8th graders at IBL, called Science from Scientists. And this program is constituted by bi-weekly visits from practicing scientists, hands-on demonstrations of everything from biology to engineering, and everything to environmental science, engineering, and so on. I had the chance to visit a class recently, the 6th grade class, and there were a couple of things that I observed about these 2 scientists that came in and delivered this lesson. The first is when the 6th graders walked into the room and they saw these 2 scientists, same ones that come every other week, it was just a chorus of, "You're back. Oh, it's Sci Day." And that was really, really exciting to see that. The second thing that struck me is this particular lesson was on process engineering. And it's it's not necessarily the most exciting topic to many, but the way that they presented it, everybody got a set of Legos, they gave a brief lecture, and then students in pairs had to build something, write down how it was built, and then in secret, and then trade with their partner. And the partner had to follow those instructions to see if they could recreate their Lego creation. And so on that occasion, I could just see the creativity that this organization brings. And also they bring donor funding to the district. So our putting in $25K has actually brought additional funding to support this program, which is really exciting. Anything else there? No, and same with Spark. I went to one of the poetry slams. It was just fun, and the kids getting up on stage and just sharing their creative works was awesome. Which leads me to just a couple of comments about the impacts that we're driving, the outcomes. So with Spark as one primary example, when we have polled our participants in the past, 72% say it enhances public speaking, 77% saying it's improving independence, 90% say that's improving writing and artistic development. So just a program that we're really proud of and proud to be able to offer to our fifth graders. In terms of our priorities for the coming year, they don't change much year to year. We need to raise the money to meet the financial commitment that we've made to the district. We want to continue to closely partner with the district, the principals, the PS, and the PTOs, engage our families, especially new ones to the district. From an operational perspective, we are 8 board members. We could use a few more to continue to really drive operational efficiencies and ensure that we are not only rolling out great programs, but measuring that impact and sharing that back. And then, of course, driving digital memberships and new business partnerships to ensure that there's value in the memberships. How can you support PEF? Of course, get a membership if you're not a member yet. Use that digital membership card for discounts at local businesses, share PEF events, attend PEF events, certainly spread the word about PEF support for key programs. I think sometimes it's not a black box, but it can sometimes feel like a black box in terms of the funds that we raise and where it goes. And I hope people understand music, arts, science, very high impact, strategic, high leveraged programs that we roll out in very specific ways. Of course, if there are any grant prospects that you think would be good for an all-district organization to solicit, we'd love to hear about those. And then, of course, direct any candidates for board positions or volunteers our way. And with that, here's how to get in touch with PEF. And again, just thank you very much for including us in this meeting.
Thanks for volunteering.
Thank you. Okay, item 11B, public report on developer fees. Dusty?
Yes, no, I allowed her to talk, but I've been unable to promote her, but can't. Oh, there she goes. Okay. Hey, Dusty.
Good evening. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay, excellent. So this agenda item is an annual requirement that we do a report on the developer fees that we've received for the year. Public notice was provided in the last 10 days. We posted it both at the old district office and at the new district office. The developer fees is all accumulated in a specific fund within all of our accounting structure, which is Fund 25 or the Capital Projects Fund. And it is kept set aside just for those capital projects. And so the attachments that you have are both the public notice that we did, as well as the same SACS report that we reported in the unaudited actuals. Any questions?
So that was, and we don't have to do any action on that. So that's just information. Okay.
Just informational.
Okay. Item 12, action items. Item A, recognition Indigenous Peoples Day and Native American Heritage Month, and honoring Indigenous people and tribal communities. Resolution 2025-10-22-A. Stacy Stoffel. To lower it way down.
Good evening. So this is
sort of a twofold resolution. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve Resolution 2025-10-22A to honor and recognize the second Monday of October as Indigenous Peoples' Day and the month of November as Native American Heritage Month in the Pacifica School District. And if you'd like, I can read the resolution or we can adopt.
Maybe speak the first part, recognizing the tribes and the communities.
So whereas Indigenous Peoples' Day is observed on the second Monday of October, and the month of November is recognized nationally as Native American Heritage Month, and the Pacifica School District is honored to recognize local and national Indigenous peoples and communities and their enduring contributions. And whereas the district acknowledges that Pacifica stands on the ancestral homelands of the Ramaytush, Ohlone, and that today Native peoples from many nations, including the Arapaho, Choctaw, Yankton, Cherokee, San Carlos Apache, Ponca, Omaha, and others live, work, and learn in our community. And then it goes on to express the history of where Indigenous Peoples' Day comes from, that it actually started as a UN resolution in 1977. So we are following that great tradition in adopting this in our own school district.
Thank you. Okay, are there any questions? Okay, do I have a motion to adopt resolution 2025-10-22-A? Okay, do I have a second?
Okay. All in favor, please raise your hands. Motion passes 4-0.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. And item 12B, approval to hire Coordinator of Student Services, Rachel Roma.
Good evening, Board of Trustees, Dr. Bowman. It is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the Pacifica School District to hire Shannon Lane as the Coordinator of Student Services for the school year of 2025-2026. Just a little bit of background. Ms. Lane has been a dedicated leader in the field of education for over a decade, beginning her career as an English teacher. For the last 2 years, she was the assistant principal at Aragon High School, where she's been the lead administrator overseeing complex student support systems, including special education, 504 plans, wellness, career and technical education, and multi-tiered systems of support. Her colleagues commend her as an outstanding administrator with a highly collaborative and systems-driven approach who is deeply student and family focused. So it is recommended that you approve her as the new Coordinator of Student Services.
Yeah, are there any questions? Okay, do I have a motion to approve the hiring of Shannon Lane as Coordinator of Student Services? Okay, do I have a second?
I'll second. All in favor, please raise your hands. Motion passes 4-0.
Great. Miss Lane is actually here to introduce
Okay.
herself.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Dr. Mum, and hello, board. Thank you for having me. I just want to say thank you for having me all. And I'm excited to join the team. So I'll be here the 1st of November. So thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, item C, approval of network analyst job description, Rachel Roma.
So the network analyst job description was attached. It was approved by the union at last CSEA negotiations. So it is recommended that the Board of Trustees approve the updated network analyst job description that's attached. Same salary schedule.
Okay, are there any questions? Do I have a motion to approve the network analyst job description as presented? Okay, do I have a second?
All in favor, please raise your hand. Motion passes 4-0.
Thank you. Item D was pulled. So it's a very short meeting tonight. So item 13, Board of Trustees, Superintendent's recap and future agenda items. Too short to recap? Okay, or future agenda items? Okay.
Just a future agenda items will include our continuation on our workforce housing, and we'll be hearing an update on that next month.
Okay, well, this is a record, so we're going to go ahead and adjourn at 6:50 p.m.